when I look at this Alberta Competitiveness Act, and I know that it was really structured around the oil and gas sector, which we know is really important in Alberta, but as I started to go through the documents, so I got them, sorry, here it is, the technical document about the Project Committee Final Technical Report on Alberta's Natural Gas and Conventional Oil Investment Competitiveness to the Alberta Department of Energy, and the glossy brochure that the government put out called Energizing Investment. And I've gone through the sort of criteria there, and a number of things have popped out to me where I went, yeah, well, I would argue that the film community qualifies for that. So when I start looking at stuff like, you know, government revenues, the energy industry has been the single largest contributor to government revenues in Alberta over the last 10 years. Well, the film community's been a pretty large contributor as well. You know, when they move in and shoot a film, especially these big Hollywood budgets, I mean, they're coming in with millions and millions of dollars. And, you know, at one point, and let me put this in context for you. A small budget film, and I'm doing quotes around this, an art film that won the Academy Awards has a teeny budget of $11 million. Okay? So even what we would consider, to me, $11 million, I'll never see that in my life. That's a big budget to me. But that was considered small budget. And you look at the budgets in things like Avatar or the guy run around shoot 'em up car chase stuff. I don't know actually, but the guys running around car chase kind of stuff, they're into the $100 million budget range. So when they come into Alberta and we can lure them into Alberta, they are dropping millions and millions of dollars in our economy that came from outside and get left here. So the stories I've told of, you know, a props buyer or a set dresser who walks into the antique shop in Nanton and basically buys the shop out, drops $20,000 cash that day and walks away, then you know, it really matters to us. So that's money that's left in our small business hands. It's left in our workers' hands who pay taxes, who belong to their community leagues, who volunteer for, you know, my friend, again, the one that's gone off to look in BC, you know, she volunteers for her community league. She works for some of the charities in town in her spare time. Her two kids go to a local school. She's part of our community. So what we've been asking for and talking to the Minister of Culture and Community Spirit is that there is an enhanced rate that's available to those big budget films. Now, the sector that's been talking about this, and I mean, what kind of jobs are we really talking about? Well, it's things like accounting, art and production design, construction, costumes, first aid, craft service, which is essentially food, greens, the grips and the riggers, hair, lighting and electrics, makeup. And a number of those people came and sat in the gallery here last week. Paint, paramedics, props, script, continuity supervisors, set decoration, sound, special effects, tutors for the kids that are on a set. You get IATSE Local 669 international photographers, and you've got all of these lists of people that work in video and electronics, and your director of photography, commonly known as a DOP, your first and second camera assistants, your stills photographer, etc., etc., etc. You're into ACTRA, which is the my union of actors, the Association of Canadian Television and Radio Artists. You're into the, yeah, I'm on withdrawal. I'm still a member of that union. The Teamsters Local 362, they do a lot of driving around. And just let me stop here and say, the Teamsters driving around is the worst that this sector gets in creating greenhouse gases. This sector is our green economy jobs. They are creative jobs. They are knowledge-based jobs. So, you know, that's the worst that they get is the car exhaust from the Teamsters driving everybody back and forth, including people and equipment. Other people that work in that sector are from the Directors Guild, for example. We have more than 3,000 creative cast and crew work in this industry across the province, and they're not working. I mean, I met with these people in Calgary. They've continued to send me emails and Facebook and Twitter and everything else. They haven't drawn a paycheck in Alberta except for, you know, 1 or 2. They've maybe worked for a month in Alberta. And you know what? These people are good. They're good enough that they're getting called away to work in other places. So we're training people to go and work for our competitors.